is Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into a different band, different artists, and we listen to all of their records. We rank them from worst to best. We give our biggest stinker and banger from each of them. We try to have a good time doing it. And this is also, you don't have to do it. You know, we put in the hard work for you. So yeah, Asinine Radio, thank you all for listening. My name is Tyler, and way out there, hundreds of miles away, is Jeff. While you're listening, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. If you're watching on YouTube, smash that subscribe button. And that's all I have for the boring intro. So what band are we doing this week, Jeff?
The Movielife. Got him.
The Movielife. We are in Long Island season on the podcast. Brand new season. We've got 3 weeks of Long Island season here, and we're starting with the Movielife. They have 4 full-length records, and let's just jump right into it. This is going to be a short episode.
Shorty.
4 albums. Biggest banger, stinker from each. What do you got? Number 4. Go.
Cities in Search of a Heart. Their 4th record, their last record, 2017. It's just a vastly different sound than anything else they've put out. It's not a bad record. It's not the Movielife. It's really not. There's nothing about this. It's soft, right? But it's not the kind of soft that we want to hear, especially from Vinny, because Vinny can do pretty much anything he fucking wants to. And it's just, there's nothing interesting about this.
Yeah.
Sister St. Monica, that's my banger. Vinny yells, and it's a perfect, like, Avalanche United type of yell. He sparingly uses it in the Movielife stuff, but we heard it here, and that was cool. Pour Two Glasses. Like, dude, he slays at doing acoustic stuffs. He does acoustic stuffs. He does, like, Movielife songs acoustic. He does Avalanche songs acoustic. He has his own acoustic stuff. Everything he does is great acoustically. You don't need to add arrangements. It's stupid. And it's kind of a Christmas song, so hard pass.
You hate original Christmas songs. You hate it.
I fucking do. I just really do.
Unless the Vandals do it. Then you like
Unless No Doubt does it.
Unless the Vandals do it. Anyway, my number 4 then is Cities in Search of a Heart. Yep. 4th record from 2017. This is very much more of a singer-songwriter kind of record, closer, more in vein to, like you said, Vinny's solo stuff. I listened to a lot of Vinny stuff this week, or over the last couple days, I should say, because we've only had a couple days to do this record, to do this to start Long Island season. So, but yeah, I listened to Vinny's solo stuff, his other bands, all that kind of shit. So yeah, that's what this is more in the vein of. Not that it's a bad thing, but honestly, his solo record and EPs are a little bit better than this. I'm not a huge fan of them, but they're better than this. He just doesn't know where he wants to go. Does he want to do I'm the Avalanche stuff? Does he want to do solo stuff? I just don't know. I can't pinpoint it. It's not bad by any means, but you got to put this record someplace. So I got to put it at number 4. My banger is also Sister Santa Monica. Faster song, very I Am the Avalanche, very demure, especially with those melodies. Very I Am the Avalanche melodies on there. And then stinker, if I had to choose, this is actually a stinker. Mercy is Asleep at the Wheel. Slow song, very ballad heavy. There are moments on this where it kind of sounds like John Feldman had his grimy little fingers in there, and that kind of grossed me out. But yeah, I didn't care about that song. I thought that song was stupid. But overall, not a bad record. But I will never go back to it. So I would just rather listen to most other Vinny related records.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. So what do you got for number 3?
Oh yeah.
Go.
Never entering, just everything can be bought on the vinyls territory. So
I don't put that, dude.
Yep, every single one.
Okay.
It's go time. Go. It's go time. First record, 99. This is their most punk record they have. They only got 4 of them, so like, what does that even mean? But this is something you hear towards like the end of a punk compilation, which they've been on, right? Like this is like the 15, 16 track. Like, oh, who are these? This video is pretty cool. Like it's very, the melodies aren't strong here, so Vinny like overcompensates with a lot of like vocal fluctuations. He does that kind of like that kind of thing because the melodies aren't there yet. The lyrics on this, they're not great, but it's a first record and it's fun. And the record does sound like a band whose members all wanted to have like a hardcore punk band, but just ended up doing this. And I think this is great. I like it because this is the only time we've ever heard Vinny not be. I think he's great. I love Vinny so much. I love him. Everything that he does, I love. But this is the only time that you ever kind of hear him be like, "Oh wow, you're not Vinny yet. This is before you were great." But it's got a lot of spunk, man. It's got a lot of spunk. It's got a lot of heart. Got lots of feels. It's a great record. And I bought this already.
Oh, you did? Oh my god!
This is one of the big orders that I did. The past like 3 days, man. It's just like,
damn, which is crazy because it's like you only have one I Am the Avalanche record now at this point, right? You only have Avalanche United.
2 now. I took back Wolverines again.
Oh, okay.
The second time.
I kind of regret purging my Dive record because I really do like Dive. So I kind of regret purging that because I only have I Am the Avalanche now. That's all I have, which was fucking so good.
I would have more, but their first record, which is my favorite one, is fucking $400.
Yeah, there's that.
So this is not going to happen. And
it's a little pricey. A little pricey.
It's silly. Like, who the fuck? You know what I mean? Like that's I Am the Avalanche, $400. Like, get the fuck off your high horse, dude. Like no one's ever going to buy that. And you can look at the history on like Discogs sold. Like no one sold it for that much money.
Just some asshole,
man. Yeah, just some douchebag. And I'll reach out to him from time to time. I'm like, hey, dude, like, will you just take like $100? Like, that's fucking more than fair. That's more than it's sold for. That's more than it has any right to sell for. I just really want it. No, I'm gonna hold out. No. Like, do you want $400 in 6 years from now, or do you want $100 right now? That's what it comes down to. These fucking people, dude. Ugh.
Idiot collectors. Idiots. Anyway. All right. So that's your number 3. This is their first record. My number 3. What? Oh yeah. What's your banger and stinker? Dude. Banger and stinker, dude. If you got them.
Barefoot. Barefoot's my banger. It's the opener. It's the best. It's the best punk rock track on the album, and we get to hear like the beginning of Vinny's like iconic scream. And Vinny has a bunch of different screams that he does. I Am the Avalanche or Avalanche United. That's his best scream. It's that like that I'll be back around, kind of that lower guttural scream, more like almost like a growl and a scream put into one. But then he also can do like the high scream, where just like yeah, like that kind of thing. It's fucking good. But here, the song we hear the beginning of it, baby. This is it. This is the start of it. This is the start of something great.
Okay. And what's your stinker?
Speed Demon. Speed Demon. It's the slow song on the record. It's got potential for sure. It has potential, but I think the recording is kind of trash and just feels very unfinished. Feels very demo-y. But like the bones are there. I just wish that it's their first record, dude. It's their first record. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're trying to be hardcore kids from New Jersey, and they're paving a new path. They're doing something a little bit different that really wasn't kind of like popular at the time, and this is what we get. It's great.
This is what we get, dude. All right. So my number 3 is 40-Hour Train Back to Penn. Third album from 2003. There's literally nothing wrong with this one. This just obviously has more. This to me, this has more of the pop punk infused into it. More of the I Am the Avalanche style, with the bigger melodies, more pop melodies on this one. They're kind of moving a little bit more away from the hardcore and post-hardcore areas of their normal sound up to this point. Slicker production too. These aren't bad things, they're just different, and I had to put this record someplace. I really do like this record. In the end, I probably wouldn't buy it because I think their first 2 records are fucking great, and I would for sure get those on vinyl. But that's really all you need. Plus, a couple I Am the Avalanche records and a couple of Vinny's other bands. That's really all you need. The 40-Hour Train Back to Penn, it's good. I probably won't really go back to it that often, but it's a solid pop punk infused hardcore record. Pop punk or a pop punk hardcore record. Like if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But more in the pop punk vein than anything else, which is fine. But in the end, I'd rather listen to I Am the Avalanche. So that's my number 3. My banger is Jamestown. Great fucking song. That lyric I sent you earlier,
so good.
I forgot what was the lyric again.
If my mind's the weapon, my heart's the clip.
Oh my god, it's so stupid,
but
it's so of its time.
Good, dude.
It's so of its like emo time. I love it. I love it for how dumb it is. It's almost as ridiculous as My Heart Beats and Breakdowns. It's almost as ridiculous as that. Too. So
that's good.
Remember that girl Morgan had that tattooed on her?
Dude,
My
so sick.
Breakdowns.
Well, she played the bass too, right?
Played bass,
bass player? Oh,
yeah.
So sick.
She played bass in the band here till Thursday. Yeah.
She was ahead of her time in our high school.
She was, yeah. She's a cool girl. Did I tell you she recently added me on Instagram? Like I haven't talked to her. I haven't talked to her since high school. And then she, like a couple months ago when I posted some old videos from our high school, were those videos of like Brian Moore and Kevin's band.
Oh yeah.
And when I posted those on YouTube, like after I posted those on YouTube and then put them on my Instagram, or a couple clips on my Instagram, a bunch of people from high school started like adding me on Instagram, and she was one of them because I posted a Here Till Thursday video on there. So she added me on there, yeah. And she's like she's like into like wildlife and shit, and she like goes on these crazy fucking hikes and like these beautiful places. And takes these, she's like a photographer or some shit. Yeah.
I really did always think like she was cool. I was like, damn, that's fucking cool. Like,
yeah, she was cool.
Girl
she was
bass
really
player with a fucking cool tattoo like that. Like, that's cool.
Yeah, she was really cool. She was really cool. But yeah. So anyway, that's my number 3. 40-hour train back to Penn. Good.
What
do you got for number 2, dude?
Yeah, my number 2 is 40-hour train back to Penn. You're right. Different kind of movie life here. Definitely seeing the effects like Brand New and Taking Back Sunday had on this record. Mm-hmm. He's pushing himself to be a better songwriter. I think this is more of like a knee-jerk reaction to kind of being signed to Drive-Thru Records, and then like a lot of other bands in the scene that owe a lot to fucking Movielife that are now taking off and getting a lot of traction. And so now we see a more pop-centric production. We see a more pop-centric kind of like way of writing songs, which is, it's fine and it's good. I don't think there's a bad song on this record at all. I think it's actually really fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm a huge fan of I Am the Avalanche, and he is at his peak songwriting in I Am the Avalanche. And it's cool here because I do love pop punk music, and this is it. Like, this is just pop punk with a little bit of an edge, but not like an edge to where like we're going to break down and just like throw something deep and heavy in there. Like, no, like each one of these songs is kind of like a hardcore song, like you said, but just in the pop punk style. And that's cool. A lot of bands just cannot do that. They just don't have it in them. Mm-hmm. But there's cool songs in here. There's slower jams like the song Hey, where like that's the first time we hear Vinny be like really, really vulnerable. And like as he gets older, right, he becomes more and more vulnerable. And it's fun to hear his solo stuff and I'm the Avalanche, because as he goes through like divorce and just getting older and like mental health issues, it affects his songwriting. And you can really hear it when you kind of like go through it chronologically. And it's fun. And this is the first time we heard Vinny be kind of like an adult. Right? Because it's like 20 years, 18 when they first started, like 20 when the fucking first record came out, 21 when the next record came out. Like, they're kids.
Young guys.
He's still a kid here. But yeah, Jamestown, dude, this is a fucking banger of a song.
It's a banger. It's really good.
Yeah, absolutely banger. Ship to Shore, that's the last track. I have nothing negative to say. Maybe I just want more, I guess. I really do love this record. I think it's fantastic front to back.
All right. That's fine.
That's it.
That's fine. My number 2 is It's Go Time.
Go.
Let's go. First album from 1999. This is it's cool. It's 9 songs, clocks in at 21 minutes. So, you know, just it's a fucking punk. I mean, in the end, it's a punk record. Punk, hardcore, post-hardcore. There's some of that in here. Super raw production, kind of rushed sounding, but that's fine. These guys they were like you said, they were 19, 20 years old. They were young kids. And you could hear it. You could hear it in the songwriting as well. But I like it because when you hear a lot of bands' first records when they're that young, it's kind of all over the place. They're genre hopping. They're pulling from a bunch of different influences, and in some cases it turns out to be like a really cool record. Like, there's a lot going on. It's exciting. Every song kind of has their own identity. That's what this album is. Like, I would almost compare this to, in the vein of Thrice's Identity Crisis, that first Thrice record, because they were super young and it was the same thing. They were pulling from so many influences. They got a producer that they really, really respected in Paul Miner from Death by Stereo. So, I mean, that's the best way to compare this record, is comparing it to Thrice's Identity Crisis, not in style of music, but in spirit. It's very much that. And I dig it. I really, really like it, because once you see it with so many bands, like after their first record, they get either an ego or they feel like they're growing up and they don't want to act like they're young anymore. So then they start conforming to whatever they're kind of into at that point, and they only stick to one trajectory. They don't pull from multiple influences anymore. And that's what this record is. I think it's super sick. My banger here is One Way Ticket. Heavier song, very post-hardcore, very fugazi sounding. I dig it. I really like it. Stinker, it's not really a stinker, but it's the worst song, Except Me. Slower jam, doesn't really go anywhere. Like, if they had more of a refined sound like on the next record, this song could have been really fucking killer. But they just they weren't experienced enough yet to write this kind of song, a slower jam. So it kind of killed the momentum a little bit on the record, but otherwise it's a good 21-minute record. I got nothing. I really don't have time to say about it.
Beautiful.
Once again, I get this on vinyl. It's sick. Wow. So that means our number one, each of our number ones is This Time Next Year.
It's everybody's number one. Not even like for the buttholes that think like White's better than Pinkerton. Like everybody's favorite Movielife record is
this one. And it makes sense. It totally makes sense. So yeah, that's all we have for the rankings. Short one. It's a shorty, but that's fine. You knew it was going to be that. So stay tuned for the main episode as we get into This Time Next Year from the Movielifes. And that's it. That's all.
Losers.